What's going on? Today, we're going to talk about building media company in 2017 and some other stuff. And we're going to talk about when shit goes wrong, because that seems to be a norm when putting together a company. All right, like right now, interviews happening, and I'm not there, right? But there's some stuff that's going down that's kind of funny, and I'm gonna clue you guys in just a minute. Hold on, give me a second because I don't know. I've been laughing my ass off lately at all of the things that
Just a minute.
go
Hold on.
down
Give me a second.
with the wonderful world of creating companies and all of the stuff that goes with it because it's wild when you think about it how many things can go wrong, right? And many people are incapacitated by things going wrong, right? Well, what if you went ahead and built in allowances for things to go wrong? You know, in manufacturing of cars and other things, there's things called tolerances, right? So I built in a lot of tolerances. Because, first of all, let's go with the first assumption. If you're doing a lot of stuff online, there are so many different business models, right? Of people out there doing stuff. But what I want to do, and I've researched that there are no companies like the company that I am building. So that really took a lot of stress out of it because everybody that comes in is going to have to be trained. Everyone is going to have to go through a certain process. And there's just not a bunch of people out there who can do what I need done. So I've got to create internal training. And that not like, here's a manual, read the manual, you start tomorrow. Not stuff like that, but building real company culture with real training and stuff. Let's see what's going on there. Oh man, the chat room. A lot of people are really interested in this. And I'm gonna get into a lot of stuff here. CN, what's up? You've been on the $2,500 hustle. Cool. What's up, Rob Nelson? What's up, Chris Monroe? Dang, you ain't been around in a while. What's up, Kayla? What's up, Diana? What's up, Alice? Mike, Paige, Raquel, what's going on? Um, Mayamoto. Hey, been watching for a while. Thanks for the positive content to empower people like me to succeed. All right, thanks for being here. It's Cole in Canada. What's up, Canada Startup? What's up, Rose? Quazel? Um, we're going to talk about that, Kayla. LeBrack, what's going on? Just try and make it. What's up? What's up? What's up? First thing is, one of the biggest barriers to building a company is many people are afraid to make a mistake. Let's call it for what it is. So let me clue you into what's happening right now. Like, Valencia, she's not here because she's doing the interview with someone, and someone who was supposed to be helping with the interview, I think, just arrived. I don't know. Now, here's the benefit of tolerances. I know stuff's going to go wrong. There is no if, ands, buts. It is. Things are going to happen. And instead of like praying that they don't happen, and I'm going to give you a good parallel from a business standpoint, you prepare for them. Because the goal here for the new Mac Daddy Media is probably 10 people at the end of the year. So there's a lot of growth in 1 year from pretty much nothing. Then there's the creating of the employee handbook. Then there's the creating of the training of the employees, like real training, consistent training. And for those of you who want to be in on video school, this is the thing that I'm doing with Valencia. She's already started a YouTube channel. So we're going to go through all of the processes. So if you ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, get on the list, because I'm not going to put it out in this video, but go below the video and get on the Hustlers. Let's make sure it's there. Hustlers Kung Fu Live. Just get on. That's the only email list I have right now. Get on that list and probably tonight or tomorrow, I'll send out the offer. And essentially, I'm going to be training her how to do what I do in terms of YouTube. And instead of just doing it as one off, because pretty much everybody in the company that joins the company is going to go through the same training. It's going to have to do the same stuff. So instead of just like doing it with her and then, she's supposed to train people, it's like, well, let's create a manual. Let's create a course. And it's not going to be just one and done. It's pretty much going to be pretty intense because we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. And I can also do that inside of a group. So those of you who bought YouTube for Business, Hustlers Kung Fu Dojo, you're going to be integrated in that group. It'll be a Facebook group. I know I said I was never going to do another Facebook group again, but this one, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it being deleted or ghosted or whatever the hell they do. So get on that list if you want to be part of that, and we'll drop that. And for those of you for the business school for hustlers, first piece of content drops today. And then we'll be bringing you on, onboarding you like we should have last Friday, probably this Friday and before. So that'll be going down. So a lot of cool stuff. Now, with that out the way, hold on. I'm still not 100%, but we're getting there. Is building a company. And I'm going to give you some insights of why I'm going in this direction while everybody's going in this direction. Everybody's running online. Everyone's trying to become an expert. Everyone's trying to become, quote, a speaking head on YouTube, a speaking head on Instagram, a speaking head on Facebook. And for many people, it's working. It's working. They're getting clients. They're making money. However, I have decided to focus on things that I'm really good at. I know how to build companies. And I know the pitfalls, trials, and tribulations of starting a single person brand. You can make $1 million as a single person brand. You really can. However, let's go back to me being sick. If I was a single person brand and I didn't have quite an automated online platform, even with that, it degrades over time. That's something. If you have online courses, ebooks, whatever, over a period of time, they degrade. They start to tank. But because I'm building an old school company, I was able to be sick and not lose ground. Actually, in some cases, projects that went on, one was completed, another one will be completed, and some stuff that I started, I was able to pretty much stay on pace and get ahead on some things, which I actually thought I was a little behind. I'm behind on Hustlers Kung Fu stuff. I'm very behind on that. But other stuff, not really. Me being sick and not creating that first piece of content, that was behind. But other stuff is moving along just nicely. The reason that I am doing the old school thing is you have people who are literally leaving $100 bills on the ground to chase dimes, nickels, and quarters. Building a business online probably at this point in time is faster than it's ever been, but it's still going to take 6 months, with 6 months being wicked quick, to 36 months to build your online brand. Now, once it's built, there's money, it's opportunities. If you want to travel, if you want to speak, cool. Now, that's another thing. I am not really interested in traveling and speaking because someone had posted this really good post on my Facebook page, her page, and I copied it because it explained a lot of my stuff. I lived in Japan before all of this international travel and living in other countries and stuff. I did that shit before it was cool and trendy. Korea, UK. I mean, I did that shit in the 80s. So done that, got the t-shirt, enjoyed it, probably go back and do some more, but I don't have, quote, wonder thirst. So I don't have to have that kind of lifestyle. So, I'm just, being real with you. And I see that many people are, it's kind of like the Italian Job when that dude stole everybody's ideals because he didn't have enough creativity to come up with his own thing to do with his share of the money. That's what I see. I see a lot of people stealing other people's lifestyles, and it's kind of crazy. All right, man, y'all going kind of hard down here. Let's see. What do we have here? Carol, good luck on the new company. Appreciate it. Drive-by viewing. That's funny, charlatan. Quality control is invented by mistakes. Isn't that the truth, Diana? Guadana, thanks for precious knowledge. You're welcome. All right. What's up, Nate the workaholic? Kayla, how long did it take? It's going to take 6 to 36 months, unless you can bird dog. Bird dogging is if someone famous goes ahead and says, tap, you the cool person. They give you that cool person tap. You can have a following overnight, but that's really hard. So that's the whole thing, because I see a lot of stuff being in the space. As a person who is a pure digital citizen, which is kind of funny that I'm making a big physical move, because Mac Daddy Media, I'm pretty much going to do a lot of local stuff. I'll do online stuff. I'll do a lot of local stuff. And instead of, chasing what everyone else is chasing and doing, because I know how to build a single person brand and make a lot of money. I know how to do that. But I can tell you there's a lot of limitations. You can get to 6 figures doing that. You can get to 7 figures. But, and this is the thing with the 7 figures, it's going to be like this. Because what you do to get to that point is very easy for someone else to duplicate those tactics. And when X amount of people duplicate those tactics and employ those things, then the audience starts to ignore them because they're literally everywhere. And you're starting to see that with Facebook ads right now. You're starting to see that like Instagram. It was one point, if you had these pithy quotes on Instagram, it was cool. But now there's so many Instagram accounts with that stuff that you see it all over the place, and it's really lost its effectiveness. And it's a crazy, crazy thing. Matthew, not gonna lie, I still have that travel bug because I've not traveled enough on my own. Now, Matthew, you're kind of young and you've not been anywhere. So that's a little different. But for some people, everyone doesn't have this urge to travel all over the world. Everyone doesn't have this urge. There's some people who they go to the Bahamas once a year, twice a year, go visit grandma or something. They're good to go. There's some other people, they need to live on the plane. They're good to go. So it really depends. Because I'm saying there are people like that, but what I'm seeing is, as I'm going to, damn, you know what? I can find it. I can find it really easy because it's on my phone. Let's see. Let me get in here. I'm gonna get into here. And I'm gonna put, hold on. Let's see. Get in here. I'm gonna read it to you because it's on my page. It's just gonna take me a minute because this kind of plays a bit into it. That's funny. Nobody looked at it. Life is weird. I never wanted to skydive, swim with the elephants, hike the Himalayas, or do any of that travel experience bucket list stuff. It always confused me, but Instagram is telling me I should be enjoying a Malaysian sunset with only my rucksack and a sense of adventure for company. And I mean, it's much longer, but just to kind of give you a gist of what I see with people creating online companies. They feel somewhat incompetent if they don't create a company like X, Y, and Z did. And that's one of the reasons, like Rework, get the book Rework, talks about creating your own company culture based upon stuff you like. And that's your option. That's one of the things you can do. Now, like building a media company in 2017 is a very hot thing to do because this is not something that's going to disappear anytime soon. We'll go all the way back to soap operas. Soap operas were media companies, and these were shows put on by brands to throw their ads during the commercial breaks of these shows. That's why they came to be. That's why the sponsor model is so big. Let's see. True, Glendon. Only one person brand. I need to hear about this. You and Matthew should hook up and go somewhere. Ben Hazel Israel Info Systems. Great topic. You do well. Keep going. You're the man. Appreciate it. Matthew, I see what you're saying because it seems like the other internet business guru talk mostly about the lifestyle of having a successful business instead of how to build an actual successful business. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. I love the books you recommend. I bought Rework because of you. Cool. Rework's a great book, but in terms of media, and I'll give you a few inside nuggets. One of the reasons I'm building the media company is so I can create and control narratives. Hired a writer, so that's actually not for me. That's for a client. That's going to go down. I did that while I was sick. Once again, having processes going on, but media is very powerful. Propaganda is very powerful. And if you build a media company and put your narrative into the world and you have enough amplification, you can get a lot of shit done. So that's one of the reasons. Then the second reason is there's just not a lot of people out there with 8 years of online video marketing experience. That's a long time because YouTube is 12 years old. I think it's 12 years old. And I've been on it 8.5 years, going on 9. So part of that, and then to bring it down a little bit more, my video making experience on YouTube has been about creating income for 8 years. It's not a lot of channels with that kind of expertise, plus the sales funnels and how to do, there's a lot of stuff. So for me, there's a crazy amount of opportunity there. That's another reason I'm doing it. Then the other thing is it's fun because of some of the stuff you will see as this thing matures. Because if you go to the front channel, Mac Daddy Media, there's nothing there, but you can subscribe, and I'll be doing some behind the scenes stuff. I'll be talking about how we build a company, things I buy for the company, all kinds of stuff. They'll be on that channel. It will not be here. And it's just this huge opportunity. It's huge. And that's why I am doing it. And part of that, to flesh out the vision, is to hire people, a lot of people, because the goal is end of the year, there'll be 10 people. Plus there will still be freelancers. I'll be outsourcing other things. What do we got here? Hustler porn is not what people want, but it gets their attention. Diana Thompson. Very true. That's another reason. There's going to be another channel. I'm still toying around with the name, and it's going to be advanced business concepts, because something else, and with the media company and other things I'm doing, everyone is talking to the beginner. There's not that many people talking to seasoned business people who want to go further. The big thing is a mastermind, a retreat. You get around people who are on your level, you sit around, you share ideas. That's valuable. But there's a lot of business owners, they're not going to a retreat. They're too busy doing what they're doing. So creating online education for those folks is huge. And another reason I'm doing the media company is everyone seems to be in the marketing. If you see any course about how to, Facebook ads, marketing, creating video marketing, everything is skewing toward marketing, but people aren't talking about sales. Marketing is important, but sales are also very, very important. And the other channel is just going to be about seasoned business topics. It's not going to be for the beginner. I mean, actually, the beginner's going to be like, fuck this. This shit's hard. They're going to be pressing the bat signal back there because they're like, I can't handle this, because there's just other things I'm putting on there that when I go out looking for content, shit I don't find. I stopped going to events locally or meetups because frequently I would be the smartest motherfucker in the room, and that is not good for my personal growth. It's just not. I'm sitting there like, all of a sudden going there, it's not me just sharing, it's me teaching and training, when I want someone to teach and train me. And I'm like, I'm gonna just have to create that own community. Let's see what's going on here. Uh King Sakwa, the exquisite. I mean, these names, y'all are messing me up. You're making me want to move back to Georgia to learn from you. Oh, that's funny. Binky Fingers, I'm back. You know who this is. uh, that's funny. Kayla, you're right. I stayed up last night watching Glendon's old videos. Wow, amazing. He's straight up to the point, no sugarcoat bullshit. Well, here's the reason for that, Nate the workaholic. When you get out here in the marketplace, all right, I was sick last week. Do you think the marketplace gave a damn I was sick? It didn't care. It's like when a store's going out of business and people in there getting those deals. No one thinks that the owner is probably filing bankruptcy. No one thinks that the employees who are working there are losing their job, nor do they give a fuck. That is the marketplace. And if you keep that in your head, that the marketplace does not give a fuck about you, your family, when you're sick, yeah, it really doesn't. And it's kind of cool because it's always constant. That does never changes. It just really never changes. But for those of you who want to embark on this and get out here into the world and start businesses and stuff, you got to face that marketplace and deal with these things that are going to happen versus pretending they will not happen and hoping they will not happen. That's something that you just got to get through. That's why I give it to you like this, because I have people who were upset at some of the things I said. I've had people who were mad. I've had people who were like losing it. And I've just laughed because there's nothing I could say to you or do to you that will be anything as harsh as the marketplace, which is just other people in the world buying your services and products. Nothing, because it's ruthless. You see someone like, if you send someone the wrong thing, people will lose their mind. It's like you can have a client and you can send them 20 items on time, everything, make one mistake, and they'll go on social media and say that you stabbed their rabbit in the ear. And everyone comes after you with their digital pitchforks. I hate this person. I hate this person. It's just crazy. See, Kayla, it's the same in the dating coach world. They all talk about how to make him your boyfriend, not how to work on engagement. That's pretty interesting. Yes, sales is critical to any business. Sales is the business, man. King Sequoia. Oh, Louis back. Louis the seller. Glendon, I did hear you say previously that you were going to bring back your blog. If yes, has writing a blog made a comeback? Did it ever decline? Do you recommend attaching videos to a blog? Well, that's one of the things that's kind of delayed, but hopefully I'll get that solved next week. It isn't, quote, a blog. I want you to really, really just take away blog, take away Facebook, take away YouTube, take away Instagram, just take away those names. You want to communicate with people in a manner that they appreciate and consume and come back. So if you think of it like that, blogs never went out of style. Nothing goes out of style. It's just when it becomes saturated with bullshit that people kind of tune it out. But there's a guy, check him out. His name is Javon Alvin. And he was working with Christian Guzman, and he's got a YouTube channel. He doesn't have any ads on it. And he has very high subscriber to viewer ratios, very, very high, because people enjoy his content. And that's the thing. So it isn't if blogs have not gone out of style. Bad, same old, what's the word? Cookie template content arrangement has gone out of style. If you are original, you have a voice, you have something different to bring, you're good. You're good. But no, good. It's like being rich going out of style. Being healthy is going out of style. Being handsome is going out of style. That stuff doesn't go out of style. It's just the things that are kind of close to it that are bullshit, they suffer. Just call me the exquisite. Okay, that'll work. Perpetual motion is just like the stock market. Hmm. Sounds of the cipher. I do rep management as part of my business. I've seen tons of businesses go down over little mishaps and bullshits. Part of the reason is there isn't some tolerances. Tolerances aren't built in. Like, okay, since I'm bringing people on, I got to consider payroll. And one of the things that I can do is use the passive income from this channel to pay people until products start selling at the rate that I want them to sell. That's one of the reasons I had to build certain things and test certain things before I brought people on. So let's say I've already made sales this month for the new product, and I know I'll make more as we, go ahead and do the correct marketing, messaging and stuff. So I'm not worried about that. But if I did no sales of the new stuff, there is money from the passive income from the products below this video and other stuff I have going on to pay people. So, that's one of the things. So that tolerance of having income coming in to pay people while they build out the asset, which is the business, I can take those hits. Whereas if I was broke Dick Danny on one of those internet junkets, like, okay, I done spent my $99.99. I got this template. I'm gonna be like Guru 876 in 3 months with my Lambo, with my big mansion. I'm gonna be doing that, right? They have no tolerances. They can't take they can't take a thump, let alone a punch. They can't take a punch or anything. So any bad thing happens going to what let's see, the sounds of cipher talked about with the mishaps and the bullshit, is there's no room for failure in these budding businesses, because it's kind of like a car engine. For those of you who have ever got into working on cars, a lot of the manufacturers of new cars, the tolerances are so tight, if anything goes wrong, the engine's fucked up. You go back to the 60s, the 70s, there was so much room for modification in a Ford engine block or a Chevy block or a Chrysler block, and the tolerances were not that tight. So if something went a little wrong, you tweak this and you back on the road. With these newer cars, with the tolerances within microns, bad things happen, your shit shuts down. I think that's one of the reasons I like older cars. That's just me. Content is king in any business. Oh, definitely. What's up, Ronnie? Sounds of the cipher. I engage with every new review, good or bad. I think people for good reviews and ask bad people if they can help or how I can make it up to them. If you respond to bad reviews, it takes the sting out of it. People know you care. I had an incident with a customer where someone just kind of lost their mind, and with the things on the bad reviews. There's some people who will leave a review that's pretty factual. It's like, hey, I bought this thing, it didn't work. And there's not a lot of emotion in it. And then you can kind of like, okay, that kind of happened. And then those people like, they stab a rabbit in the eye, you're the worst person ever. That person has a lot of shit going on. And this is something that I noticed with trolls, which I'm not saying all people who leave bad reviews are trolls, but typically, in your point, if you talk back to them, a lot of times you're surprised, because a lot of folks don't really talk to people online, even though this is supposed to be all about the communication. Louis, the seller. It always amazes me how many people focus on how a message is delivered and not on the actual message. I believe I Have a Dream speech would still be great content, even if it had a few cuss words in it. Once again, tolerances. Many people don't have tolerances for anything. It's like, if it's not exactly to their expectations, they're out and they'll lose it, and things become crazy. So the exquisite content, confidence, sales, employees are the importance, pretty much. Purpose Pit. Do you believe the customer is always right? No. It's frustrating dealing with customers who fuck up on there, but I have to clean up the mess. Part of being a leader and owning the business is it's your fault, even when it's not your fault, because going back to what I said, marketplace don't give a fuck. I mean, I give you a good example. Years and years ago, I was helping out this Fulberg colonel in the clinic. I used to work in the healthcare clinic, and he just was fucking rude to me. He was having a day and he took that shit out on me. But due to the fact that he was a Fulberg colonel and I was an enlisted nobody, I just had to take all that bullshit. And, you know, I was still, you know, I was feeling some kind of way. I was all up in my feelings, but I was still professional. I still had my military bearing. And then my boss saw the shit go down. And later on, she took me to lunch. She said, you know, you handled that very well. He was a complete asshole. And she said, I went and told his boss, who actually came in the clinic, who was a Fulberg, not Fulberg colonel, but he was a 2-star general. And dude came back and apologized to me. So, you know, the marketplace is real interesting. But if you own up a business, you're going to have to deal with some bullshit. You're going to have to deal with people who are going to want to just take out their bad days on you. You're going to have to it's just part of the game. It sucks, but fortunately, more people are good than bad. But no, I think, you know, the whole thing with the customers right was a marketing ploy because it gives people who feel like they have no power. Because you ever wonder why people like lose it in these transactions? It doesn't even matter. Actually, that's wrong. It does matter the price point. I've had people that I fucked up on a $250,000 deal, and we had a civil conversation. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I made the measurements wrong. This is how we can rectify it. And we did, and everything went fine. I've had people lose their minds over a $9.99 product, send me like 6, 8 emails. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what it is, but there's some people, life is tight and they're going to take it out on you. Mike Page, how do I buy We Buy Houses business blog about at the same time? I have the site up, but finding it difficult to blog about. Let me tell you why you find it difficult to blog about. That market is saturated with bullshit. Here's the thing. If you want to get in real estate and you want to flip houses, you need A, good credit, B, some money. If you got $1 million cash money and you want to get out into flipping houses, you could probably turn that million into 10 in a year. Because you got the liquid money, you can do stuff. Plus, if you fuck up your first deal and you spend $50,000, you got $950,000 more. I've watched the game, and there's this whole thing. Once again, it's designed to appeal to the beginner. Though you got bad credit, you have little money, but you can still get in the real estate game. That's why you're finding it difficult to blog about. When I started urbanpackrat.com, it was Business Credit Mentor and PassionateFriday.com. It was hard for me to blog about business credit. I was just doing it because I knew that so many people wanted to know about it, but I was passionate about it and I had determination about it like that. Now, I wasn't really passionate about storage auctions, but my knowledge base was like this, and it worked. So you definitely got to find something that you have an interest in it. Sound of the Cipher. Have you ever had an employee leave you bad reviews after getting fired? I have. When I had a bunch of employees, we didn't have the internet like we do now with Glassdoor.com. Like if you go to Glassdoor and look up Gary Vaynerchuk's reviews for his company, they are toasting his ass. Probably going to happen in the future. Right now, there's some bad shit about me on the internet. And what's so funny is it doesn't make sense because it's you can tell that the person was upset, and it really, you know, if it's had an impact, I haven't felt it. So essentially, you just got to keep putting out good shit, continue to do your business, this is why cold calling and having a sales force is so important. You ever hear on the news like, hey, this is Channel 5. Today's scam was this guy. He's been calling on people and as a contractor and saying he was going to do these things. And he just took their money and ran and did it over and over and over again. Locally, you can build a company. You can have a company fail on the south side of town, go to the north side of town, build a new company, start knocking on doors and get business. And have badass reviews all the time. Because a lot of people just don't check reviews. A lot of landlords don't actually check credit. A lot of landlords, I mean, seriously, like they see that check, they look good, smells good, fuck it, So it's funny. Most officers are. I'm in the military too. I used to date an officer. She was a peach, Rose. Diana Thompson, remember Carol Burnett show? She was the animated janitor that is a business owner. I used to watch that show. I do remember some of that. Erica Williams, thank you. Credit and money. Real estate investing takes 4 to 6 months to clean credit and then grab lines of credit and cash roll out. Yeah, everybody's wanting to try to make $1 million with a bad equity position and bad credit. That's just, there's a reason it's tough. There's a reason. Cody Wyman composed, yes, I had a situation when I first came to the music store. I worked at where a previous employee didn't refund instrument rental deposits for a year. Boy, oh boy, did I get an earful over the phone. You you get people who will lose it on you. Charlton, I'm back. The exquisite, they hold no money wholesale flipping houses has always piqued my interest, yet it seems so sketchy. Well, ask yourself this. It takes no credit, it takes no money, but you can make millions. It just doesn't make sense to your irrational mind or your logical mind. It just doesn't. How do you build a brand that isn't bad review proof? Um, okay, let's talk about reviews. This is something I learned in as a writer. You can go on Amazon right now. My first book, Making Money A to Z with Self-Storage Auctions. You'll see some ugly ass reviews. You go do some research. You'll see people toasting me. He's a scam artist. He's this. Then you'll find people. Hey, I bought Glendon's book. Wow, it changed my life. You start to see it's like, wait a minute. Here's this handful of crazy reviews, but here's all this other good stuff. It's like, you just got off. I don't even worry about bad reviews anymore. I know that some people do the review thing just out of spite. There is no, I bought the product. That's why Amazon lets you know that this person buy the product. You got someone trashing you, but they didn't buy the product. That kind of says a lot. The mode never broke action is pack is great. Grab it. Appreciate that. Erica Williams, you are a bird dog, not a wholesaler. You have to put out 200 We Buy Houses signs, have 100 buyers for people with money so you can unload any contract in less than a week. So that's how that worked. Because I figured these people were like account execs or salespeople. They really weren't wholesalers. Applied knowledge versus skimmer is funny. What do you think about building apps? If you know how to code, here's the thing with apps, and it's not even about coding. It's about culture. If you are a 13-year-old kid that can code and you create some stuff for other 13 and 14-year-olds, you have information about that marketplace or audience that I, as an adult, doesn't have. So you go ahead and create that code and give that marketplace of 13, 14, 15-year-olds what they want, or 13, 12, 11, and 10-year-olds what they want. You can make a shitload of money and have all of this esoteric knowledge that other folks don't know. So it isn't, quote, the app. It's building something that people will use, enjoy, and pay for. We're going to do that probably later, Charlatan. That's still in one of the things, because I was in one of those moods last year when I was doing stuff, and I was like, you know what? We're going to stop all this other stuff, and we're gonna take some time, and we're going to refocus the direction of this channel. And refocusing it means that I had to create new channels for all this other stuff. So that will be coming probably later in the year, because the thing is, as I know that there were so many people who were trying to get in there and do it, and they didn't have any money, they didn't have any credit. If you got good credit, you can buy 4 to 6 houses. Good credit and like a $60,000 a year job, you can buy 4 to 6 houses by yourself. So there were some things that, and also it was one of those things that it was an experiment and some other stuff, but I decided to go back to the core of creating companies and roll from that position. And let's see how that thing goes. But yeah, building apps, that's It's more about the marketplace than it is the app. Is apps and platforms are just tools, right? And the tools are only good as the technicians who are deploying the tools. It's like a gun. You got one guy, he can knock the hair off of a rabbit's ass from 100 yards. And you got another guy who can be 20 yards from the rabbit, can't hit anything in the rabbit. So it's really about proficiency of using the tool versus the tool itself. It's like someone with a good eye for composition, right? They could take amazing photos with this camera, with a cell phone camera. Amazing photo. Then you can have someone who went out and spent, you know, 30 G's on lenses and other things and can't shoot for shit because the tool is only good as the technician. Louis Sell, do you respond never to responding to a review? Should the business owner not protect his or her brand? That's personal choice. I don't really mess with those people because there were some folks having a conversation about me, and I really didn't see the need to get in there because depending upon if it's a legitimate review, where it is, you could do more harm than good. Like I would not recommend responding to bad reviews on Amazon. It's not going to help your case out, and what it's going to do is the trolls are going to be like, he responds back. Whee! Let's go do some more. Or if it's something like Angie's List, it really depends. And here's the thing. If someone leaves a bad review, there are some people, regardless of what happens, they're going to believe that bad review. And there is nothing you can do to make it better. Nothing. It's kind of like credit. If you get a bad mark on your credit report, I don't care if you pay the bill. As long as that mark's there, it's going to fuck up your FICO score. And that's the same thing with bad reviews online. To a certain segment of the audience, bad review, I'm not fucking with that. The only thing that's going to make that better is it disappears or they never see it. So, Mike Page, read your book, A to Z Storage, purchased a unit for $11.50. Bunch of clothes and government phones, CDs, sold some on eBay. Was about 15 bags of women's clothes. Thought through most of the bad garbage, probably netted 25. Auctions are hard work, I see. Yeah. Dude, that's one of the reasons that I did not a lot of people when I wrote that book. I mean, I could have sold probably 3 times as much if there were many internet marketers who were saying storage auctions were easy. I have been in the unit pulling shit out and I've had a canoe ding me in the forehead because I didn't know it was up there. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's really rough. Erica, let's say you can go knock on doors in 3 different parts of town and none of those folks checking reviews. Most are going to go off gut feeling and price. Once again, like I said, Erica, sales and marketing. If you're broke and you let's say you start a service business today, you're like, shit, I have no money, but I have this skill that I can offer to my community. And you go knock on doors. And if you say, I'm going to knock on 100 doors today, you will make some money. A lot of people will say no, but if you knock on enough doors, people will say yes. How do I know? And get ready to laugh. You ever see those ads on Craigslist and stuff like sell meat? I have sold meat from a pickup truck. Yes. It's a little refrigerated container on the truck. They have this deal where you rent the truck and you get X amount of meat and you drive out in the country and knock on doors and you sell people meat. Most people, nope, 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 nope. It's just like, I was like, this is fucked up. Knocked on this old lady's door in the country, Fayetteville, Georgia, below that, whatever that was. And I was like, hey, how you doing today? I got some great meat for you today. And she was just like this. You know, I was getting ready to go to the grocery store and get some meat. What you got? Showed her the meat. She bought $80 worth of meat. Blew my mind. She didn't know me. I was a guy in a pickup truck selling meat. And every time that I wanted to give up on something, I was like, you have sold meat from a truck. Auctions can be fun. Mike Page did that myself, selling meat. It's most folks like, no, it was rough. Kayla, I bought 2 boxes of meat in my house coat. Oh. There it is. There's proof. But all of these things, like I said, I'll talk about more of the building of the media company, why, and that at some point is going to go exclusively in Mac Daddy Media. And it's funny, let's see, that the never broke meat sales, man, dude. I was at a point in my life where I was trying to do anything because they reeled you in because they think it was country fed meat, and it was like make 100,000 a year, work when you want and everything. And there were salespeople in there who were doing 20 grand a month, but they were like, okay, you ain't gonna work with you. What you gotta do is get you a route, and you gotta get you a customer base. You gotta get phone numbers. And dude just broke it down what he did, and he's like, he was making 20,000 a month selling meat, but he had created a route. He had created a dedicated route. He gave people free meat. He did all kinds of stuff. So he built a business. Then I bought 300 off a truck of seafood and meat. Skinny young man, I knew he needed a sale. Diana Thompson. I was surprised. Fancy meat. Just try and make it. I used to buy from them boys all the time. Meat, shrimp. All right, you see this. We got 67 people watching, right? And we've had at least 4 people who said that they have bought meat from a stranger in a truck, and 1 person in her house robe. This is the power of sales. If you can get over your feelings and go out there and talk to a bunch of strangers, you'll make some money. I'm telling you, you will make some money. And as a business owner, you have got to get, if you don't have that skill, you need to have a partner who does. There are people out there who are brilliant at what they do. They're amazing, and they are scared shitless of selling anybody anything. And the world will never know if they're brilliance or amazement because they can't sell. The exquisite. I used to go door to door and take out people's trash from the kitchen to the trash cans when I was younger. That's a nice little hustle. Purpose Fit. Do you think distributors and middlemen make all the money? Corps who have a platform that bring in product service to customers and take a percentage of the sales. I wouldn't say all the money. It just depends. It depends on how they're positioned, because there's a lot of the middleman right now is getting squeezed out of the occasion, out of the equation. You can go to a factory in China now, put in an order, in 2 weeks or 6 weeks later, have your products here. You can go direct. So I don't know about the middleman thing. So it really, really depends. But typically, you'll hear me talk about sales. You'll hear me talk about marketing and just a lot of things that never before. And then, like I said, channels and stuff are going to expand, because you'll see it'll be like really, really slow. Like right now, it's really, really slow. And then all of a sudden, it's just going to explode with content because of putting together a few things. Let's see. Oh, damn. Jelani. Would you recommend going door to door selling life insurance? If not, how would you go about doing it? In my former life, I used to sell final need products, and that is essentially selling burial policies to old people or anyone who would buy it. That was rough. I failed massively at that job, but I could sell meat. It's really, if you can do it, because all right, let's talk about this door to door thing. If you live in the city or certain places that have these no solicitation things, it's going to be really hard. Like in my neighborhood, if someone is soliciting, nextdoor.com, someone put us up there, guys in white shirts, they will have their truck or car number and license plate. They're soliciting on such and such street, and that shit will be up like that. Now you get outside of a densely populated area and go 30 minutes outside the city, an hour outside the city, people tend to still open their door to strangers, and that stuff still works. So it really depends on where you are. Here it comes. Right now, if you can buy two guys to knock doors for a week, you can make money. Use a credit card to pay the weekly check at first. More hands on deck. Grab Glenda's 30 days to money. I mean, that's another thing. You will hear me talk more about, employees and stuff on another channel, but it makes a big difference because, like right now, there's an interview going down, but I'm here with you guys. So employees buy you more time in a 24-hour day. That's the only way you can buy more time is through other people. And let's see. Facebook ads, a stare stories, a GoFundMe stories where people didn't have life insurance. Like I said, I don't mess with insurance anymore, but I'm quite sure there's a lot of stuff because life insurance is this thing that you don't really think about it until someone dies or some bad shit happens. So it's a rough one. But really good life insurance salesmen make a lot of money. That I know to be true. That's funny, Louis. That would be hilarious. Purpose Pit, isn't Amazon, eBay the middleman? Amazon and eBay are not the middleman. Amazon, okay, I want you to think about, okay, you got the distributor, the customer, and the middleman, right? Amazon is the ground that they all operate on. Amazon is the sandbox. It is not the middleman. It's like the chess. Can you play chess without the chessboard? Amazon's like the chessboard. People don't really think about it like that, but no, they're not the middleman. They are, you know what they are? They are like the rails to a railroad. Whoever owns the rails makes all the money, makes a lot of money. So yeah, they're not middlemen, not at all. Kayla, let's see. Jelena, just check YouTube for the how to. Lots of people took Ty Lopez S&M course and now giving away free for on their YouTube after starting their business. That's interesting. Didn't he give that away for free? I'm not sure. The whole social media thing. I think he gave it away for free. Now, let's talk about the social media thing. Getting back to the media company. Okay. Here's the problem with a single person brand or doing something like that. Now, there's a few people, and these would be elite, who are a single person brand and they've outsourced and connected and they're doing 8 figures a year. That's real. I know people who are doing that, but I also know these motherfuckers are some of the most brilliant people I've ever met. Ty Lopez is not stupid. And I think that's one of the things that people kind of discount on him. But as a single person brand, you can generate a lot of stuff. But once again, as a single person brand, you're the company, you're the everything. And when you're not working, unless you've got some passive income things going on, the minute that you're not working, you ain't making any money. But if you build a company with parts and pieces, which are complicated, they are, you are not the company. And if you are out of the picture, like I was sick last week, things still go on. Things still happen. Projects still get completed. And if you get to the point where you have the right mindset, because one of the reasons I did not do the interview is I have to step back into the management role, working in your company, actually doing the interview, or working on your company, building processes and systems where other people are doing the interview. Then I'll do the final interview while I'm over here doing something else, planning, strategy, streams, and things like this. Oh, so he sold a course. He sold a course for 1,000 and people paid $1,000 and now they're giving that information away for free on YouTube. He just did this. That's kind of, that makes sense if a person wants to be famous. That makes a lot of sense if a person wants to be famous and quote, have that social media brand. of being well known. That does make sense after I thought about it. Pretty interesting. Thanks. Can you do a course on how to create your own sandbox? That's where the money is assuming. Okay, let's talk about the reality of starting in Amazon. You're going to need millions of dollars for investments to start something like an Amazon, Snapchat. So if that's what you want to do, have at it. But you need to be able to develop the sales skills to talk to people with tens of millions of dollars and say, look, I got this idea and this is what we're going to do. And by the way, I need $2 million check from you. Today would be great. So if you want to do that stuff, because building a platform of any magnitude takes money. Let's just completely let go of the notion of bootstrapping your way up. Amazon, all right, let's go to Amazon. Bezos was a Wall Street analyst. Bezos was a highly paid Wall Street analyst who had direct connections to people with lots of money. That right there helped him tremendously. The fact that one, because like with the Business School for Hustlers, the first course is the foundation for a high income. And one of the reasons I want to go in that direction is if you build a high income and start getting rid of some of these thirst buckets, oh, I finally got the car I want. I'm living in the house that I want. And at the end of the month, I still have money left over. You are in such a better position financially to start a business than broke Dick Danny, penniless Priscilla, because you can sit back and create something and build a business and hire people out the gate versus trying to do all that stuff yourself, which is doable, but burnout is all over the place. And this is something a lot of people don't really talk about online. There's a lot of these single brand entrepreneurs who are literally burnt the fuck out. And you can see it. And they'll see them just fall off or disappear for a while because they're recuperating. Dude, what 212? How do you become the online version of Paramount Pictures of 20th Century Fox? You start creating amazing content like right now, because there's another reason that I did not mention in the whole thing of a media company. There's going to be an online only media company that's going to create a movie, book, something like that. They're going to sell it around the world and use the internet as the distribution system. And there's going to be a creative person who's going to make $1 billion in a month. And that's going to probably happen in the next 5 to 7 years. And it's going to happen because of creating a media company and properties and stuff. He's exquisite. He was in my email. I should be famous. Both my names are out there. Glendon, your mental is dangerous for the competition. That's funny. What is IBMOR? I don't know. True, Erica. True. Following folks who are straight taking a break. I know. All right. Let me just tell you why. Another reason I'm building a company and going through the frustrations and the growing pains is I know within a very short period of time, in my mind, probably a year or so, that I will be able to create a company that will do major projects, and my ass will be in Bermuda, or my ass will be at the South Pole on the Russian icebreaker going to hang out with the penguins, and my money will be stacking while I'm gone. This is the long range plan. I'm 90 years old, and there's a company with people working while I'm like doing whatever the hell I want to do. That's the ultimate goal. That's the plan. So I'm not trying to build this $1 billion company. If it happened through service and output, cool. But my goal is to build like a $20 million company and keep the debt really low, because debt isn't bad. There's a way you can use debt to make money, but keep the debt manageable. And after expenses, taxes, and all this other stuff, a few million a year. That's the plan. Because I know how well you can live on $250,000 a year. I know how well you can live on $500,000 a year. 500 G's a year for most people, even in New York, even in California, you balling. You're balling. That's damn near 50 G's a month. You're balling. You want a Ferrari? You can do a Ferrari on 500,000. You want a mansion? You can do a mansion on 500,000. You want to travel around the world? You can do that. You want to send your kids to private school? You can do that. If you want to pay for your kids' college education, you can do that. So there is no need for me to make $1 billion. I have none of those $1 billion dreams. I am not Gary Vaynerchuk and I want to buy the jets, or I don't want to do that stuff. I just want to stay in the position where I don't worry about money. That is a nice fucking feeling. As someone who had to, one point in my life, every move that I made was predicated on money. From the time I woke up to the time I went to bed to how much money I did or did not spend. All of that was predicated because I didn't have enough money. So when I got to the point where I didn't have to worry about fucking money, I was like, I'm going to keep this shit going because it is fucking nice. And I hope all of you who are watching this video can experience that shit. If I could package it up and give it to you, I would, because it's some wonderful stuff. It is wonderful to not have your every action, thought, or your perception of life flavored by the lack of money. That is some horrible shit, and a lot of people are caught up into it. Louis DeSoto, you talked in the past about helping others. I was walking during the snowstorm when a lady with a baby approached me for bus money. I gave her the money. It made me feel good. I mean, hey, who's out there trying to scam in the snow? She needed the bus money. Well, if you start doing the work, because here's the thing with the media company, and you're going to see as we talk about, you got to start putting out a lot of content. BuzzFeed is a $200 million a year company. BuzzFeed, which wasn't created that long ago. There was this other company, Elite Daily, created 4 years, sold for 50 million. Media companies are like the power brokers of the internet because it's about content, it's about traffic. Brian, I can testify to being in a better position to start a business from having a higher income. I don't have those month-to-month pressures anymore. And I can sit back and strategize on what I want to do. It makes a big difference. What's up, Roosevelt? I mean, seriously, giving boost to your oxytocin levels. Keep doing it. If you're buying pearls this year, do it before May. Okay. Cool thing. All right. So where are we on this? Cool. All right. We're back in action. So for those of you who want to be part of some of these training boot camps, and these are going to be daily and they're going to be short, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to go down. So if you want to know about it, be sure to get on the Hustlers Kung Fu Live email list. That's the only email list I have. Just jump on it, and I'm going to put that thing out about the video school very, very soon and some other things. All right. So thanks for you guys joining me today, and I will catch you guys later.